I'm with Creative Light Worldwide, and we are a US-based sales and distribution company. And we've been doing business with South Africa for a few years, and we decided to come and visit the Sithengi market to see what's going on in the region, to learn more about not only what's going on in South Africa, but the rest of Africa, to make new contacts and to hopefully forge new relationships to get some of our product into Africa, as well as exploring co-productions and looking for opportunities to get into the production side down here as well. So it's really an exploration for us. From just the talent perspective, I had no idea there was so much great filmmaking going on in this region, and there are a few films that I'm very interested in taking a look at, and maybe taking back to the U.S. to show some of my partners. So
we can bank on seeing you back here?
I definitely will come back next year. I mean, who can beat the weather and the good people and the good business?
We are a distribution company specializing in Africa, and it's our 7th Sithengi we are attending. Always with a stand. We have a very close relationship with all the stations throughout Africa. We are one of the major suppliers. We do the Endemol catalog, we do the fireworks catalog, we have our new show which is playing on the back, which is Adventure Inc., which has just been sold to SABC3. And we love coming to Sithengi, we love coming to Cape Town. It's a great place and it's well organized.
We are a company based in the UK. We distribute Indian movies, Indian TV serials, news programming and entertainment programs. And we thought to come to Sithengi, as we've never actually distributed our programs in Africa, or the African subcontinent. It's been a very good market. We've met a few people from companies such as SABC, as Kenya Broadcasting Corporation, and I found it very useful in terms of making contact with these people. Normally, some of the other exhibitions I go to, they are not able to attend sometimes due to timing commitments or sometimes financial constraints. So for us, it's been a very worthwhile market, and I think we'll come back next year as well.
Yeah, I chair the Children's Broadcasting Foundation for Africa. This is the first time that we as the CBFA have joined with Sithengi to have a children's festival. It was very exciting. We had 2 days of children's workshops. For the 2 days they viewed different programs from South Africa, from the continent, and international programs, and then they chose the winners from their perspective, and we had an award ceremony with the winning programs, but that was very South African based. We also had 2 days of seminars where we brought in best practice from both the continent as well as international practice, and we had people talk about ideas around HIV and AIDS. As we know, this is a huge scourge and a huge concern for us. What are people doing in the different countries on the continent in terms of programming around HIV and AIDS? And basically what the CBFA wants to do is look at quality programming for African children. And we want to look at how we make it easier for producers to produce those programs. We know that there are not enough resources for the production of children's programming, and we want to create an opportunity where there is some kind of fund, some kind of foundation where you don't look at the bottom line when it comes to producing for children.
My name is Tony Bodwin from Los Angeles. I'm with Natexis Bank Populaire. We are production finance lenders. I came to Sithengi by invite, basically because my bank put up a significant portion of the financing for the film Stander, which is shooting down here in South Africa, and we would like to do more. I found Sithengi to be actually an excellent market, an excellent opportunity for me to meet South African producers, banks, and other members of the film community down here, particularly the government bodies. It was actually also good to meet a lot of the Canadian delegates. Due to your co-production treaty, there were a lot of Canadians down here as well as people from the UK. And I spoke on a panel today on film financing, so it's quite interesting. And loved Cape Town. I think it's one of the most beautiful cities I've ever been to, and I'd love to come back next year. I'd love to try to help send more production down to South Africa, because basically I'm in I'm LA based, so I talk to a lot of producers who are interested in shooting films overseas, and South Africa has come up a number of times, and I'd love to be able to tell them to come down here and take advantage of the locations, the crews, some of the government monies that may or may not be available, and yeah, I'd love to come back next year. Thanks for having me.
I'm here on behalf of Theatre Images and Soul Food Productions from Nigeria, and this is my first time at Sithengi, and I find it quite interesting, and I have been able to make a lot of contacts, and I think it's an initiative that is very good and should be sustained, because it gives an opportunity for African filmmakers and writers and people in the production business to actually know themselves. I think it's something that's very, very good.
So can you count on you coming back next year?
Oh, very, very much so. I'll be here, certainly, because I think I've gained quite a lot, the workshop, the screening, and I hope that maybe next year I come, I should screen one of my movies as well.
I'm here with NWHT. It's a new digital satellite television service that's going to be working out of Nigeria. That's going to be delivering 100% Nigerian content via satellite to all the markets where we can address. This is our 4th year in Sithengi. We didn't come to Sithengi as NWHT the first year. We came in as independent producers, but we have had some progression in what we have done, in Nigeria. Sithengi has been a good place to meet people and to exchange ideas and things like that. We haven't made a lot of sales, not because we haven't had the interest, but the administrative processing and of course dealing with the new initiatives have taken some time. It's our anticipation that we should be coming to the point of making a lot of sales now, because we've established the credibility of the product, the integrity of our product, and the integrity also of our processes.
After a break of a couple of years, I think the thing that's impressed me most is how many young people there are here that I recognize as having come through Quebec. The difference being that a couple of years ago they would have come as trainees, as it were, as aspiring entrants, just to sass out the scene and get the vibe and so on, and learn how things work. Now they're here with product, and they're actually participating in a full sense rather than on student cards. They're here as delegates, they're here as exhibitors, they're here in pitching forums. So that sort of growth and development is lovely to see. I think the face of Sithengi has changed dramatically over a number of years, and it's great to see so many young black folk here now.
Sithengi Festival for me has been a very educational experience. It's been a lot of fun, and it's been very useful. And having the film screened here for the first time was a fantastic experience. Having acted in and produced it with very little, and having taken 3 years to get us here, myself and Akinoma Toso, the director and writer, were ecstatic because of the turnout and because of the reaction to the film itself. And now looking forward to Stir Kiniko releasing it on a bigger level, and touch with people coming to see it and see it in masses. It's a local film done by locals, with locals in it that people will recognize, and it's just the experience of it and the feedback from the screening was unbelievable. It was fantastic. So the Sithengi Festival for me has been a wonderful experience. I've met a lot of good, interesting people. I'm learning a lot about the business, and hopefully we'll start to make more and more films. So yeah, it's been great.
The social vibe is very good. I've made a lot of contacts. It's nice to have the opportunity to network, for example, with the Canadians. It's important to get a grasp of where a country is at, just as they found it very useful to come here and see where South Africa is at in terms of filmmaking. It's very useful to meet a contingent like that and find out where they're at, and the synergies, especially through the co-production agreement between the two countries, and how South African films and Canadian films have the same sort of ethic, same sort of base, and hopefully out of this Sithengi, certain co-production projects will emerge, and that's really what we're all hoping for. And of course, if even one of those emerge, then the entire market has been worthwhile.
Hi, I'm Guy Mason from the Canadian Film and Television Production Association. It's our first time at Sithengi this year. I'm heading up a delegation of approximately 20 Canadian producers, Canadian government funding representatives and government officials. We're here really to promote co-production opportunities with South Africa. There is a co-production agreement between Canada and South Africa, the only one in existence, and there's been an increased level of activity through that treaty. There's obviously a lot of interest both between South African producers and Canadian producers in working together. We're very, very pleased to be here. It's the hospitality has been overwhelming, and for most of us, it's our first time here. A lot of people right now that are here with us are currently working on projects, looking forward to developing more. And the Sithengi is clearly the place to come to as a kind of industry event to sort of meet all the people you want to meet. We'll be looking very seriously at maybe coming back next year, and certainly this is just the start of an ongoing relationship with between the Canadian and South African industries, and we're thrilled to be here.
It's really heartening to see that Sithengi has grown the way it has. It's so well organized this year. It's really so absolutely exhilarating to know that the rest of Africa and the world is supporting the festival more and more. It's a pleasure for sithengi2002 to be here, and it's a pleasure for us to actively participate and to also be here on a number of fronts, not just from a cinema point of view being exhibition, but also from our pictures side, a very strong representation, and also from our home entertainment side. So all the best, and I hope that it goes from strength to strength.
Hi Sithengi, it's Jonathan from the Body Kids. We're an independent company, and we try to sell our Body Kids show to all the television stations around the world, and so far we into the 4th hour, and it's going very, very positively. Thank you very much for all your assistance. The staff has been fantastic and very helpful, and we're very excited so far. Thank you.
We produce formats, so we distribute quizzes, game shows, reality type shows all around the world. We're here at Sithengi. It's our second time here, and it's been a great market. We're hoping to come again next year.
I think this year Sithengi has been a lot better organised, at least relative to the previous years that I've been to Sithengi. It's been a little bit more together. I've enjoyed it more this year. I've had a little bit more time to spend with people, to go to screenings, and we're also here with a larger team, so I don't have to do as much this year as I did last year or the previous years. So I'm able to relax a little bit more, and I guess I've enjoyed a lot of the seminars and the screenings and those elements of Sithengi.
For me, it was a good thing to see quite the number of people who are here, especially foreign delegates, both from Africa and Europe. But I was particularly impressed that Sithengi is growing from what it was quite a few years ago rather. And I want to see more and more of people coming to support Sithengi. But also it was good to realize from some of the conferences and the interaction I had with both producers and the broadcasters outside of South Africa that we think as South Africans we have really made an impact out there, and that we need to quite build on what we have done already, both in terms of content and the quality of work that we have turned out to the whole world. Keep it up, Sithengi.
Sithengi's been a great market for me. I've just won a prize to go to Australia to meet some of the world's top broadcasting commissioning editors and filmmakers. The Southern African television market has jumped a few levels. We're definitely up a few pegs. We're now looking to each other, we're working with one another. There's a lot of public-private partnerships. The Industrial Development Corporation's been a major boost to the industry, taking risks. SABC, I think, have made the difference this year. They've come in with all their 4 or 5 channels, and they're commissioning the local content requirements that now, by legislation, by regulation, they are obliged to meet, has forced them to meet independent filmmakers, independent producers, the people who actually put the stuff on the TV.